Dr. J.
Okay, hold that. Hold that. Let me intro and then you can go, okay?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what I keep doing this thing with my hand.
You
And
having,
it's time.
you having like a seizure or
I don't know. It's just like
a mini stroke?
it's like the first one I was doing this, I was like, it's time. And then this one I'm doing wah. So it is now time.
Just don't do this.
I know. It is time for the Optic Poet, Dr. J. How's it going?
Want to try that again?
No, we're keeping it script. All right, so today's topic is binge watching in COVID. And I know you just mentioned we'll come back to the MASH. You've been watching MASH. My wife has been binge watching My Big Fat Fabulous Life. And so yeah, it's like this reality TV show about this girl from Greensboro. And then and she's also been binge watching To Die For because they released a new season. And then I have found a couple of channels on YouTube that I have just been engorging myself on. So on top of really crazy alien UFO conspiracy documentaries.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been
Like
eating
History
that.
Channel documentaries?
No, not Ancient Aliens.
Oh, God.
No, these guys are well, okay, let me back up. These guys present themselves as legit. Because
Yeah.
this isn't Ancient Aliens. This is deeper than you thought.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, one of the videos I watched the other day was a video on Area 51, and they go through like the whole history of Area 51 and the phenomena of Area 51, right? And what he concludes at the end of his documentary is that the conspiracy of Area 51 is that the government created this crazy conspiracy to keep us from really finding out what's happening out there. And what's really happening out there is they're building secret military style aircraft that they don't want anybody else to know about at Area 51, but they allow the conspiracy of the UFO stuff to just keep building and building and building. And he talked about this one guy where he had caught on, like he'd gone out and seen all these night flights of these secret aircraft, and he was writing to some of his people within the Air Force saying, there's some really crazy stuff going on out there. And so the Air Force sent this dude out there with all these fake documents that were supposed to be classified and all that. And of course, they were redacted in certain places and all this stuff, right? And all of it's just fake. He goes out there and he's just feeding him these narratives about, the dead aliens and Roswell was real and all this stuff, right? And the dude bought it. He ended up going crazy. And the guy from the Air Force who's feeding him all this stuff is like, I think we went a little too far.
Is it a mockumentary?
No, this is a real thing. It's a real documentary, and he's presenting it as, there's actually no real alien conspiracy in Area 51, that the government actually hyped that to cover up what they're really doing, which is some top secret aircraft.
That sounds believable.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's more believable than aliens.
Yeah, but some of the alien stuff, I'm telling you, it's good. It's like called? I said the other day. It's go look for it on YouTube. It's called Quentin Reviews Area 51. It's actually really good. But a lot of the stuff that I've been watching is just so fun. It's so good. Navajo Indians talking to aliens and stuff. It's so good. And I told you about the one where they tied Kennedy's assassination to aliens because they went a step further. I forgot to tell you about this. They talk about Marilyn Monroe and that they killed Marilyn Monroe because she was getting ready, like within a few days of her death, she was actually going to talk to this woman about alien stuff that the Kennedy brothers had told her about.
Because JFK is actually a reptile.
No.
Oh.
Kennedy had actually found out what they were doing.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Where do you find this crap?
dude, Amazon Prime and Netflix are just covered in it. It all started several weeks ago. This is how it got started. Several weeks ago, I was trying to find an old documentary about the pyramids, right? It was called The Pyramid Code, okay? And it's totally wacky too. I mean, I watch this stuff because it's fascinating to me to see other points of view and see how far they'll take it, right? And it's this actually, and I wanted to look at the Pyramid Code because I watched a Joe Rogan podcast where they had this guy on there where he was talking about lost ancient civilization, and he was tying in Göbekli Tepe. They were talking about the erosion, the rain erosion on the Sphinx and all that stuff. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't watched the Pyramid Code in a while. I need to go back and watch that. So I was trying to find that. And so I went on Netflix and typed in Pyramid Code. And Pyramid Code didn't come up. But like 50 movies about aliens did. And I was like, oh, honey pot.
I don't know that you're going to find your way out of the rabbit hole.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm so deep into the rabbit hole. The rabbits are like, wow, he's gone deep.
What I've watched isn't nearly as interesting as that.
See, when I binge watch something where it's like, okay, I'm going to get something out of this.
I mean, I don't have any. I mean, nothing like that. MASH has been and the Tudors.
The two, okay.
Tudors, which is sensationalized, and it's. I mean, a lot of it's exaggerated, and the culture is good. They get the culture right, but MASH has been a show I've been obsessed with since I was small because I was born in '75. MASH went off the air in '82.
Yeah. And
I remember watching it with my father, and then I got really obsessed with it in grad school.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Hulu. I could binge watch that. I don't know why that particular show right now. Maybe because they're stuck somewhere and can't leave either.
I was getting ready to say, okay, Jay, it's not that hard to draw the dots, to connect the 2 points here.
I suspect the next show I'll be binge watching is The West Wing. I keep coming back to the same few shows. Like I don't watch a lot of new stuff because the old stuff speaks to me.
You know what Lauren and I have been watching a lot of? The Nanny.
Oh dear God. Her voice, dude, drives me nuts.
Once you get into like the 3rd episode, the voice just kind of goes into the background because it's actually I forgot how funny this show was.
Oh, it's funny. I've seen it.
It's hilarious.
But that voice, Jesus Almighty, that voice.
And we're making our way through Friends for like the 3rd time.
Yeah, there's some decent shows. The question is, why are we binging, and why are we binging what we're binging? Yeah.
Well, I told you why I'm binging I'm binging my stuff because it truly does fascinate me to watch this stuff and to see all the alternatives out there. The thing about those, this is what I had to explain to my wife. The thing about those types of documentaries is that. Hey, Jacob. Mel.
From Guilford Tech.
What does it say? Because I may be getting the same thing.
But it's not pink.
Oh, it's turquoise because they want to surprise you. Surprise, you're fired. What is it?
It's a Subway gift card.
What?
HSS. Oh, thank you for your continued contributions and support. As a small token of our appreciation for your contributions, I have to save this.
Wow.
No, it's got to wait.
Okay. Mom told me to give it to
Okay,
you.
I'm doing a thing. Just put it on the counter. You won't believe what they got. What fast food my wife got.
What?
Take a guess.
Denny's.
Mrs. Winters.
Oh, I hate you. I haven't had Miss Winter since we left campus.
I haven't either.
We got a gift card from the division.
Well, I got a gift card from the division. I don't know about you. My assumption is you got one. NPR and BBC Radio both at different points over the past, did we say 56 days?
Yeah.
It's the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Both have said something rather similar. People feel like that they should accomplish a lot. They're setting goals for themselves for this lockdown, and they said you should probably stop doing that. It's okay if you don't accomplish
They were
a lot or anything.
Well, the thing is, the New York Times culture section was saying that like 2 weeks in. They were like, okay, so all that time you've got now and all the things you want to do, you're not doing them, are you?
Well, and NPR and BBC said it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
These are extreme times. It's probably hard for you to focus.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. And if you look at Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all these other platforms, you'll probably discover that they are making a ton of money, because that's what we're doing, is we're binge watching.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to read every day for several hours. I'm only getting a couple hours of reading a day.
Yeah.
I thought I'd get like 4 or 5. I'm getting like 2 hours a day.
Well, like I said, I was going to write every day, and that worked for about 4 days, and now it's just kind of like, okay, I think I ought to write something today. So
I think we're too freaked out by everything to really want to do anything productive. I think binge watching gives you an escape. Yeah. It allows you to forget for a little while that what we're experiencing right now is going to last a little bit longer. You know, this lockdown in its current form is going to go on for another 4 or 5 weeks. Well, and what's interesting was the email I got from my other institution of employment this morning, where from the chancellor. And he said, if you probably have heard about Governor Cooper's order for phase 2, that we're going to go ahead with phase 2. And the very next sentence was, with limited capacity. So even they are like, and what they're doing is they're going to let operational employees come in, basically like the janitors and the landscaper. They're coming. Yeah. That's it. Like faculty are still at home. Well, I'm glad that things are opening up a little bit, because this hair has got to go, man. Yeah. I'm getting a haircut on Tuesday. I can't even tell you. Oh, wait till you see the opening of this week's Beta Files. That's the first thing I talk about is, strap your mask on and go get your hair did. Yeah. I think the binge watching is just a means of getting away from it all. Yeah. I suspect, and I actually have been writing every day, not much a day. Uh-huh. I worked on 2 poems yesterday. I haven't written today, but I jot lines down throughout the day. So that part's actually happened, but that's what I do this summer anyway. But as far as lines a day. Well, look, man, I read a poet named Lisa Jarnot she had a daughter. Uh-huh. She gave birth to a daughter, and she, for a long time, could only manage about 3 words a day. 3 words. 3 words.
That's what it was. It was 3 words. You were going to do 3 words.
Mine was a line a day.
A line a day. That's right.
She did 3 words because she didn't have time to do anything except be a mom.
Right.
Then she published the book that those 3 words a day came from. So, but it took her years. So I'm not writing a poem a day, but I'm writing a poem every 6 or 7 days.
Well, that's not bad.
I'll take that.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go so you can go eat your lunch.
Yes, indeed.
All right. We'll do this again next week. As always, thank you, Dr. J, the Optic. Optic. Doc Ock now. The Optic poet. The Optic poet, Dr. J. All
Yes.
right, and I'll see you later.
Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now it's time for Dr. J.